Now, as the states begin to open their borders, the nation edges closer to reaching our vaccination targets too. Many are looking forward to Christmas and reuniting with loved ones after a really tough 18 months. Let's hope it happens. Some state premiers have let down the rest of the country by delaying their reopening plans. And now they're scrambling to get residents vaccinated, of course, before their borders open. Here's Premier of Queensland, Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk today, after the state recorded 3 new cases.
Today is a wake-up call for every Queenslander and every community. You know, you can have a very, very high vaccination rate and this virus will hunt you down. So it is absolutely crucial to get vaccinated.
This virus will hunt you down? I mean, seriously, these people. The Sunshine State won't open its border for another 6 weeks, if we're lucky, about December the 17th. It means some children looking for in-store Santas this year are facing a very sad Christmas. Santas are due to start work as early as next week in some of the shopping centres around the country, and companies are struggling to get around our nation's border restrictions. The spokesman from Straight Down the Line Promotions, Fred Porter, joins me via Zoom from Geraldton in Western Australia. Thanks for joining us, Fred. Are you telling us that these store Santas, this is not the real Santa, if anyone's watching with the children, these are the store Santas, they're normally travelling across the borders? Which states? What, across between New South Wales and Queensland, for instance?
Well, it's not common for Santa to really travel more than about, half an hour from where they live. One of our biggest issues at the moment is the border community around Queensland and northern New South Wales. As you're well aware, there's been plenty of coverage on that. Some of our guys are down there in Tweed and will need to, get into Queensland to do their job this year. So that could, potentially be, particularly with Christmas shopping, quite lengthy delays, and we don't pay for travel. So people are going to have to, get ready and try and get over that border a lot quicker, or could even be late for their shifts.
Well, they're going to have to get travel permits, presumably, to get across that border. There might be similar issues with South Australia and Victoria and New South Wales as well. Are there any special conditions, any special pleadings being made to the state governments for the in-store Santas?
Well, look, there's a lot of red tape to get through as well, but, that happens to us every year. Every Santa's got to have a working with children check, for example. So there is a lot of paperwork, which is really why retailers outsource this job to companies like Straight Down the Line Promotions. And in fact, we actually provide many Santas, even to event management companies under a sort of white label arrangement. So a lot of clients don't actually realise that it's us doing the work at the end of the day. I think of a bigger concern here is really hesitancy as well from our retailers to confirm their bookings. So we've got a situation where we've had guys that have worked with us for 5 or even 10 years. We've been doing this about 20 years altogether. And, some of them have chosen not to, to take Christmas off this year and not to go out there. But we've also got a whole bunch of new Santas that we've recruited as well, because there's a whole bunch of Aussies out there looking for work as well. Now, I'd say we're probably 80% down in the amount of Santas that we've booked into retailers. They've made the inquiries, they've got the quotes. We're in November now. It's, they're usually starting in about 2 weekends' time, and we're calling up and we're still unable to get answers out of them. They're just unsure if they're going to proceed with this.
Well, they'll need to be double vaccinated, and they'll be having kids on their laps who aren't vaccinated, presumably, so that's an issue as well.
Well, yeah, these days, the kids don't necessarily sit on Santa's lap. We have all sorts of protocols and training in place. So we do encourage kids to come up and stand next to Santa. We have wider seats so that they can sit next to Santa. We've even put in protocols this year to essentially socially distance Santa from the children as well. So with the magic of photography, we can position the kids, 1.5 meters in front and get that beautiful picture that parents, do go down to the same stores to get every year as they see the kids grow up. So
great stuff,
it's a shame for families to miss out on that.
It sure would be. Thanks for joining us, Fred. Fred Porter there, telling us about the problems with these Santas on the border communities, the in-store Santas. Don't you worry, our international borders will let the real Santa in, and he'll even be allowed across our state borders, I'm certain. That's the one bit of common sense we'll get from all our premiers in this country.